Hi, Rex again here at RW Mods. Today we're going to look at this Mito 4, Mito 4 off. Not sure what the A signifies, but the Novarossi Mito 4. I think the Mito's been out for a few years, so we'll take a look at this one. It is nice that it does come with, well, it should be 4 restrictors of different sizes. That is a nice option to have some adjustability in your restrictors. So we have kind of Novarossi's pretty standard head I've had for a while. First impressions, it does have the offset carburetor, 17011 front bearing. So it does have some updates. Now I did find this engine a couple places, around $250 to $270. Now I'm not even sure I'm assuming this is a steel rear bearing on this one, but we'll take it apart and see what it is. So it's the updated block. I don't think the previous version came with that block, so we'll dig into the insides and see what it looks like inside. Okay, so we got everything apart on this Mito 4. One thing I was a little surprised at was that this was the super long stroke. The super long stroke similar to the Bonito, and I'm pretty sure the old Mitos were like the standard long stroke. So that's interesting. Like you see, the crank's got quite a bit of factory work done. It's got 3 weights, a lot of cutting on it, a lot of bevel on the face there. Looks like it's bored. I mean, it's ground. Looks like fairly big diameter. So this crank does have a little more work to it than some of the other cranks. Which this cut here is pretty big. I guess I'm not a big fan of that. It takes a lot of weight off the crank weight, but like I said, the block has the offset carb. The block has some notching here, but kind of like the Virtus block, or there's some other ones that have that block too now. A little more common. 4-port sleeve. It's kind of a telltale sign. A lot of the super long strokes have these notches. I believe it's for the rod. Because you got a longer stroke, it's coming closer to the bottom of the sleeve. Piston does have a couple bypass holes in it. The standard R7 rod. Like I said, this is a super long stroke, so the piston's actually fairly small on these, and then the stroke's obviously more. I haven't personally ran with these. I know guys do like them, the super long strokes. And the 4-port here might be a little bit different. So we got the head button. Should be a 6 card or a 6 plug. So we got a 6 plug in there. O-ring. Most of the Novarossis have an O-ring. The head's kind of their medium LCG head, so they, some are kind of flush here, some are sunk down quite a way. So this one's kind of their medium head for lowness. It does look, we can see, it does look like you could put You could put one of their super low heads on this block. So if you had a head off like a keep off 4 or something, that is nice that they got that black block cut for that. Possibly it is a little bit bigger diameter than this, but I think that other head would work. Carburetor in this one, this is the one that has the more of the higher end engines have this carb. It's the one with the third needle. So we got a long low speed needle, pretty standard. I have, if you look at this restrictor is, what does it say, 5.48 millimeter. See how tiny that thing is? Try and get it out of there. Some of these restrictors come out really hard. Geez, I thought I had it out some here. I don't want to ding it up either. Okay, we got it out. I see this once in a while. Look how tiny that restrictor is. Now, if you watch my Venturi or my carb restrictor video, I said anything under 6.5, I kind of had trouble tuning. And it's in the box here. You can try and run it, but it's just going to kill the power. You're just going to be on the throttle all the time. And it just, I don't think you'll like it. You can always try it, but you're not going to have any power. It's just going to run hot and just tune funny. I don't know. I just didn't like that small of a restrictor. I'd go 6.5 to 7.5. If you're not worried about mileage, go up to a 7.5 or 8. But I don't know why they have these in there. And once in a while I get an engine in to modify. I think some of the OS come up with a really tiny restrictor and these and stuff. I get an engine in to modify, and I'm like, and it's a used one that they've ran, and I'm like thinking to myself, well, you could at least try a bigger restrictor before you send it out to be modified or whatever. I mean, if you didn't like the power of the engine, but so all in all, it's a pretty nice engine. I don't know how it'll run with the super long stroke. I'm pretty sure the older Mitos were the standard long stroke. I guess I'm not 100% sure. Now this the backplate does have quite a bit of cutting, relieving on there, and what that does is it gives a little more avenue for the air to come in, because it's pretty tight in there. You just basically got I actually put the crank in there. Put the crank in there and backplate. If you look, the air coming in an engine has to go between the crank. You got your rod spinning in there, and then you got all the air. So those cuts kind of, I think they're thinking, diverts the air, gives it a little more place for it to run. I'm not sure if this makes more power or not. It doesn't. Maybe the super long strokes, it's different, but you do see that once in a while on the Novarossis. But so I guess we'll go over the numbers here. The Mito 4, 21. So blowdown's 37. Induction open 152, induction closed 62 for a total of 214. Now these numbers are within a couple degrees of the Bonito. So anything similar to the Bonito seems to have similar timing numbers. The Bonito was a little less, maybe I think in 35 blowdown or something like that, and there was one other one that had like 33. So the blowdown's a little bit more on this one. That should help with the top end. So these numbers, though, the 152 and 162, I'd probably only go just a couple, 2 to 3 degrees more. I probably first thing I'd do is work on the blowdown a little bit to give it a little more top end, but mid and top. But overall, should run pretty good. So it does. I guess we didn't say that before. Before is that has a steel insert cast into the back plate on the higher end engines. It has that. I've never seen the aluminum ones wear in too bad, but only if you had like a clutch problem or something where it was pushing the crank. But overall, I think it's an interesting engine. I'm not a huge fan of the super long stroke, but I don't have a lot of time running one either. I do know they run well. I'm not sure really what the four port and the long super long stroke and stuff. What kind of power band you get? I don't. It almost looks like by the numbers you could run it in a truggy too. Um, but I think it's more intended for a buggy. So thanks for watching.